Right at the beginning, guys. Music's already going. What are we going to do? Hey, everybody. Wow, look at us. Back at it again, guys. This week's episode, we're talking about the beach. Not beach, the beach. Of course, as usual, we start off topic. Cast iron skillets, you don't wash them, right? That's the joke with a cast iron skillet. I've seen it all over the intranet. You don't wash a cast iron. Why don't you wash a cast iron? I don't know. I thought what they meant by that was you don't use soap on it. But I think, and this is my breakthrough, I think you just don't wash it at all. I think you just... It sounds gross. This can't be what they're meant for. This can't be the correct way to use a cast iron. But about a week ago, I made some... What did I make in the cast iron? I got some pork chops. And then I made said pork chops in the cast iron. I put a little, I did a little oil in there, a little vegetable oil in the cast iron, and then I seasoned the pork chops, little salt and pepper, both sides, turned it up real hot. Did it. They were actually like fat. They were thick fat pork chops. I usually get skinny ones and they're done real quick. These guys, they took some time. They were like thick, bad boy pork chops. I don't know why. I just walked in the grocery store. Last time I was in the grocery store, I was looking at steaks. I feel like I've been getting steaks from the grocery store, and then they have like the prepackaged ones. And then you go over to like the butcher, the counter with the guys doing the, what do they call it? The butcher area, the meat area. You go to the meat counter where the meat guy is, and you see the steaks there, and they're like 2 inches thick. You could barely pick one up in your hand, and it's like, oh, that's the steak. That's the steak that people spend money on when they go out to a place and they spend whatever $100 on a steak. This was like the pork chop equivalent of that. But I just absentmindedly grabbed some pork chops, and these were thick bad boys. Took a long time in the cast iron skillet. Little oil, little pork, it's all mixing together. It tasted great, as usual, in the cast iron. And then I didn't wash it. And the next day I just made pork chops again in the cast iron. And I took there were like little chunks of stuff. I don't know what the stuff is, like little pork pieces maybe. And I took those out. And then now it tasted good. And then I made some chicken in there, and it's still good. I made a hamburger in there, and it's just in the same old kind of oil over and over again, and it looks gross. It feels wrong. It can't be right, but guys, it tastes incredible. It just gets better you barely have to season anything. This was the most flavorful hamburger. The most flavorful hamburger I've ever had in my life in this cast iron. I mean, it was a little greasy, but it was everything needs to be patted down. I've been going through paper towels like it's going out of style. Like there was never a paper towel shortage during the pandemic, but it felt like it was like toilet paper all over again. But instead of butts being wiped with paper, it was my meat being patted down with all the grease with other paper. Why don't we use the same paper for everything? Why don't we have paper towel / tissue / toilet paper all like the same kind of... No, it would be bad. It would hurt. I answered my own question. Anyway, cast iron skillet. Don't wash it. Give it a try. If you have a cast iron, just don't wash it. Never wash it. And see what they really mean. When they say don't wash it, they really... This can't be right. I don't know. I'm so confused. Guys, I can't even express what it is. I guess you don't wash it then. You just really, really don't wash it. And you keep cooking in it, and you keep making a mess in it. And that's what it is. It just is that. It's a dirty pan. Where do you put it though? Do you put it in the cabinet? It's just always, you can't stack it anywhere. You can put it under anything because it's just dirty. It's just got grease and gunk, delicious grease and gunk in it, but you can't just hang it up and have all the greasy gunk drip off. You can't put it in the cabinet where everything else gets greasy and It's just always out. It's always on display. It's like a coffee table book for your kitchen stove. It's always out there, and it brings pleasure to everyone, but it's a pain but it's always there. You always see it. You always have to look at it. And when you're cleaning, you're like, oh man, there's a big book. And then you're like, oh, muscle cars. And then you spend 10, 15 minutes looking at this. And it gets better every time, I guess. That's my analogy for the cast iron skillet. Incredible. I would recommend it. If I've been doing these I finally figured out all this editing stuff. Guys, by the time you hear this, all of my previous episodes will be on YouTube. Some of them, about halfway through, I started making videos of just me sitting in my room. So if you're into that, it's me sitting at my desk. You can see my bed in the background. You can see the transformation of the beard that I've been growing. You can see my hair suddenly get short after I buzzed it. You can see what I noticed watching this is that I wear the same orange shirt like every Monday. I have one orange shirt from an improv festival I went to 3 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And for some reason, it's my Monday shirt. I don't know why that is. I just really like this shirt as just a dirty, stay-at-home, do-nothing shirt. And I shouldn't be saying that because you guys are going to be looking at it on this thing, but I don't dress up for you. This is who I am. This is what I do. So if you go on YouTube, now come at me show. I'll put a link on Instagram or something. I don't know. It's there. It's there if you want to see a video of me. I've gotten requests. People have been like, Tim, I don't like podcasts, but I'll watch a YouTube video. And it's like, but what do you think the YouTube video is going to be? It's going to be me talking and just looking into my iPhone. And it's going to be more eye contact, I guess. If you want to look back at me for 45 minutes while I ramble about nonsense. And it's weird. I've gotten kind of used to looking at myself when I'm talking, and it's unnerving. I don't love it. But my phone looks great. Guys, this is a great tip. I already gave you my cast iron tips. Here's another great tip. Get a new case for your phone. Do it. Do it. When was the last time you had a new case on your phone? Better yet, when was the last time you took your case off of your phone? You know how much gunk and stuff's under there? It's all gross and nasty. I had a glass. Remember when you used to get an iPhone case and it would cover your whole phone? It was indestructible and you could drop it off of a mountain onto another mountain, and then it could bounce all the way down that second mountain onto a third mountain, and then into the ocean where it would sink to the bottom, and then a dolphin dives down, picks it up with his teeth, and returns it to you faithfully, but not after him and his boys took turns chomping on it and stomping on it and spitting on it, and then a whale swallowed it, but then the dolphin dug through the whale poo and found it again, and then brought it back up to you, and it still worked great. Do you remember that? Do you miss that? No, now the new iPhones, because the screen keeps getting bigger, there's no way to make a connecting thing. It's the whole thing is like screen now. So they can't put a cover on it, I guess. I don't know, I'm making excuses for these geniuses who invented a computer that fits in your pocket. Why they can't have a cover that fits. It's all a scam. I got this new Apple laptop. Got a MacBook. And I'm putting it away. I keep it on my night table. And I was going to put it on my night table. I dinged the side of my night table. Now I got a dent in my MacBook instantly, and I barely touched it. These things are designed to fall apart. They're incredible, and they're sexy, and they look good, and they work well, but they're meant to get dinged up. So you're like, oh man, but my MacBook isn't as pretty as it used to be. It's like, oh, get over yourself. Just enjoy it. Stop spending money on this stuff. You don't need a new phone. Get a new cover. Get a new glass. I dropped my phone the other day, and the glass thing was just shattered up. And for a second, I was like, oh my God, my phone. And I remembered, oh, I have this glass screen on it. I bought a new glass screen. I bought a new iPhone thing. It was like $20 total. Guys, it's worth it. It feels like a whole new phone. The screen is clean for the first time in 2 years since I bought the phone. I don't think I've taken the case off in 2 years. This is the kind of thing you should treat yourself to. It's one of the many things, I can't even think of any other examples right now, where you're living your life and you're like, wow, but this one thing makes me so happy. Why aren't I investing more in this? You get a new iPhone case. Every year, buy yourself a new iPhone case. You don't need a new phone every year. But whenever you're like, oh, I should get a new phone, get a new case. See what happens. I bet it changes it's going to make things a little bit better. Oh man, looking at the screen. It's like, I told my glasses wearers out there, you know when you go to the eye doctor, what's his fancy name? The optometrist. When you go to the optometrist and he or she, the doctor, the medical professional who sells glasses, when they wash them, they have like a machine. They take them in the back. I mean, I bet there's a glass washing machine. Whatever they do back there, and you put your glasses on again, and you're like, whoa, you're like dizzy from how clear your glasses are. Like you can try and wash your glasses at home. Use a little soap, little water, like a little dish soap sometimes, dry it off. And it's good. It's good for like 30 minutes, and then they kind of get gross again. That's my experience. But when the optometrist cleans it, it's like, whoa, this is how have I been living before this? I was blind before this happened. And now I can see, and now the world's a beautiful, clear, wonderful place. And it's like that with the iPhone screen. It's like, you know what's great is like, it's like a towel. A while ago I was like, I'm buying a new towel. And I found the fluffiest one I could at Bed Bath & Beyond. And I brought it home. And I was like, oh, you know what, I'll try this. And it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And that is not hyperbole. Nothing great, not a lot has been going on for me lately. And this towel, which I purchased like a year ago, is up there. It's way up there. Guys, getting out of the shower and feeling the warm hug of a fluffy towel in the morning is phenomenal. I thought my other towels were okay. They were rags in comparison to this. I was drying myself with sandpaper in comparison to how fluffy this towel is. And I only got one, and I kill myself because I got to do my laundry, and then that good towel goes in the laundry, and then for a week or whatever, I'm just using this sandpaper towel again, and it's disgusting. It's like, it's horrible. It irritates my skin. It's like, how could I live like this before? It's a new towel. New iPhone case, new towel. Cast iron skillet, don't wash it. Guys, I'm full of tips today. Full of tips. And you know what? Since I'm already brimming with goodness and charity in the form of life advice, I'm going to debut a new segment on this show today, an incredibly original, groundbreaking idea that I think you will all love and enjoy, and is already getting rave reviews from the one person I talked it over with. New segment, thumbs up and thumbs down. That's the segment, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down. That's the segment. We'll start it off right. Thumbs up to John Cena. Congrats, bud. You're married. John Cena, he did it, guys. We all thought he'd be a bachelor forever. He was married once, apparently cheated on her. We don't know. That's the rumor. That's the rumor in the WWE mill, but whatever. He's an amazing guy. He got divorced, started dating Brie Bella of the Bella Twins. We're all familiar with this story. She wanted a kid. She wanted a family. He never wanted to get married. He didn't see himself doing it. I thought their love was true and powerful, and we were all rooting for him on the show Total Bellas, and then Total Divas before that, where it was just all the female wrestlers hanging out doing Real Housewives shit with their professional wrestling boyfriends in the background. It was great. It was a great show. It's a compelling story. It wasn't Brie. It was Nikki Bella. There's two of them. There's Brie Bella. There's Nikki Bella. Brie Bella, married to Daniel Bryan, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of the last 10 years. Nikki, dating John Cena for a very long time, it felt like. She wanted to get married. She wanted to have a kid, and John Cena couldn't give her those things. John Cena's like 40-something. I don't know. He's in incredible shape. Doesn't want kids. He doesn't want kids. He says, I know myself. I'm a selfish guy. I know my lifestyle. I'm always on the road. He's trying to make it into movies at the time. Now he's a bona fide movie star. He didn't want kids, but he finally agreed to get married. He's like, I don't know if I can give you kids, but I want to get married. I love you. And the second he opened up, boy, I'm one of the most heartbreaking Total Bellas episodes ever. Nikki just turns around and shuts him down and says, I don't want this anymore. And it was at the party. They agreed to get married. They had a party to celebrate, like an engagement party. Everyone's there, and she's just like, this isn't what I want. And John Cena was a broken man. He goes on Good Morning America and like tells everybody he's depressed, and he just goes to bars to talk to people. so he's not alone. I don't know that much about this story, guys. I haven't been following it too closely. But then Nikki Bella, she goes on Dancing with the Stars, as a lot of like people down on their luck and careers do. And she fell in love, as many of them do, with one of the dancers on there, Artem something something. I guess he's a good dancer. I guess he's hot. He is kind of hot in like a dancing kind of way, like a forearm tattoo and accent kind of way. He's got that. He's the real deal. He's the package. He's not John Cena. He's like a third of John Cena's body weight. But he makes her happy, and they aren't married, but they did get pregnant. They just had a kid, and it's beautiful. It's a love story for the ages, and I'm glad Nikki's happy. And we were all worried about John. John, are you going to be out in the cold here? What are you going to do? Have you gotten over Nikki? Now you're seeing that another man is giving her the life that you could never give her. The woman who left you has found love and ultimately a family in the arms of someone else. And then this week got the news. John Cena and Shay tie the knot, whatever her last name is. They got married. He met a girl on the set of that Fireman movie he did that nobody saw with Keenan Peele and Michael Key, and now he's married, and now he's happy. And it's crazy. He got married. I didn't think he'd get married. He hasn't known this woman that long at all. Nikki, he dragged it on for years and years. And this woman immediately, Shay, she said something to him, and he was like, I gotta marry this girl. I gotta put a ring on that. Nikki just hung out for years. And it's like a real love story, man. He did it. He found it. He pulled it off. And now he's going to be in the next Fast and Furious movie as Dom's evil brother. And then he's going to be in the Suicide Squad, which is like an attempt to save, I guess, a franchise that got off to a rocky start. And just everything's coming up John Cena right now. So a big thumbs up to John Cena. You did it, bud. Keep up the good work. I love John Cena, man. I'm glad he's in movies. Not a good actor, but who is? Who's the best professional wrestler turned actor? The best actor who used to be a professional wrestler? The answer is easy. Dave Bautista. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's as good as you're going to get. A lot of people are going to say The Rock. The Rock, not a good actor. We can all say that. I love The Rock. He's amazing. He's a god. He's a deity. We are blessed that he walks among us, punny humans, on this ball of dirt spinning through outer space. We are blessed to have Black Adam himself, Dwayne Johnson, walking among us. But I've subscribed to the theory with Dwayne Johnson, the Rock theory. I need a good name for it, but less is more when it comes to the Rock. Less is more. Guys, I want the Rock in moderation. If the Rock's the lead in a movie, it's like, okay, fine, I'll watch it on an airplane. If he is like the co-star in a movie, it's like, okay, I'll see this on HBO when it comes out. And if he is like in the movie, but as like a side character, I'm seeing it in the theaters. I have to. Him in the Fast and Furious, amazing. Peak Dwayne Johnson. This man is the most electrifying man in anything. He's crazy. I saw him wrestling once. It was the most exciting thing I've ever seen in my life. So exciting to see The Rock. Just him being anywhere is like the most exciting thing I can possibly imagine. But you can't be electrifying all the time. No one can be electrifying for 2 hours, or in his case, for a movie, 90 minutes. Taking all these shots, I do love The Rock. Acting like I have something on The Rock, one of the richest men. He just bought a football league for his ex-wife because he's the man. That's what he does. This new segment is going way longer than I thought it would. I was like, in my head, I'm like, cool, time for some rapid fire thumbs up, thumbs down. I got like 10 of these. We're on a 3-hour show pace right now. All I'm saying is, Dwayne Johnson, coming off the bench to be electrifying for 5-minute chunks of a movie at a time is amazing. Because when he shows up, electricity the whole time. If he's the lead in something, electricity, a little less electricity, a little less electricity, a little less electricity, it picks back up with some big fight scene or whatever, and then a little less electricity, a little less electricity, as opposed to like when he's just this side character. Man, Hobbs in Fast and Furious movies, not in Hobbs and Shaw, that was not as good, but him in the Fast and Furious movies, man, when he fights Dom Toretto and they're rolling through walls and just explosions happening all the time, and every time he shows up he says something badass and he's sweating and he kills a guy without even looking at him. That's peak rock, and we should do whatever we can to make that happen. John Cena, again, congrats on your engagement to girlfriend Shay Shariatsadeh. Thumbs up, my man. Thumbs down. Waiting online to vote. Boy, this segment's already all over the place. Thumbs up was a John Cena getting married, and thumbs down is voting. Every time I voted in Brooklyn, I'm just far out in Brooklyn. I'm in Bushwick now. I was in like Park Slope before. Was it Park Slope? Borough Park before. And there's never anybody in line. I walk up, I walk in, it takes 2 seconds. It's the easiest thing in the world. And nobody votes in our country, apparently. Like 60% of the population vote. That's like a big turnout. That would be a huge turnout if 60% of the population in the United States, eligible population, voted this year. It would be a huge turnout. We had 60% of the people. 40% of the country just doesn't vote, which I was always like, how can you not? Who are these lazy bumpkins that can't be inconvenienced for 2 minutes to vote? What do they think they're doing? Why are they hanging the rest of us out to dry, as opposed to giving 3 minutes of their time? And then a buddy sent me a picture today. Corey, thanks, man. You got a shout out. Got a line around the block for early voting. It's not even voting day. Voting day is sometime, I don't know when it is. I know, I'm going to know. I will go. I'm going to be going. I can't I can't just pull a number out of the air right now. But people are voting. People are standing in line. Can you imagine having to stand in line? When was the last time you stood in line for something? Now, since COVID, it's like been nothing. Maybe to see a movie, like the night it came out, I can't even think of one. Standing on line, you don't stand in line to get in anywhere. At a theme park, maybe you're standing in line. But when you're standing in line for a theme park, what do you get at the end of the line? A roller coaster. You get like a rush. You get a ride. You can stand online for like an hour or two. You ride the Hulk or whatever roller coaster action you've got. And it's great. And you're like, this was worth it. That was amazing. I have a story to tell my kids now. But if you wait online to vote, at the end of it, you sign a piece of paper and you go home. And it's hard. That's all I'm saying. It sucks. It gets a thumbs down from me waiting online to vote. We got to do it. We got to vote. I'd encourage everybody to do it. I'd just say prepare. There's people in Georgia waiting online for like 8 hours to vote. Insane. Such bullshit, if I can be frank. You shouldn't have to wait online to vote. This should be easy. In, out, on with life. We should be getting as many people in there as possible. But, people don't want people to vote, it sounds like. Some people don't want people to vote. And everyone who's hasn't voted yet or is planning on voting, my hat's off to you, man. You got to do it. We got to do it. It's our job as Americans, but if you got to wait online, I'm sorry, man. Thank you. Thank you for doing it. Whoever you are out there waiting online to vote, thank you. That's cool. It's very cool of you to do that. It's the right thing to do. It's a nice thing to do. Download some movies. Bring your computer. Bring your iPhone. Download some Netflix films. Adam Sandler just came out with Hubby Halloween. I thought actually it's probably Hubie Halloween. I thought it was about husbands, like Hubby Halloween, like husbands on Halloween. And somebody told me it was Hubie, which tracks with Adam Sandler's trend of just naming movies after his main character. So you can watch Hubie Halloween online to vote. That should take up 2 hours if you're there longer than that. Adam Sandler also did that movie with Jennifer Aniston, The Murder Mystery 1, where him and Jennifer Aniston, a couple that doesn't make any sense in real life or in fiction, Doesn't make any sense how they ended up together, but they are, and they are in a movie called Murder. I think it's just called Murder Mystery. I think it's just straight up, it is Murder Mystery. That's on Netflix. You can download that maybe and you can watch it. Maybe Uncut Gems. Is Uncut Gems on Netflix? You can watch Uncut Gems. I haven't seen it. I've heard great things. And if you're still online, waiting to vote, you can watch The Ridiculous Six. That's another Adam Sandler movie. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. You got Terry Crews. You got Luke Wilson, maybe. Rob Schneider, probably. You got the whole gang. The whole gang's there. The whole gang's there, guys. That's like 6 hours in line to vote. And you've had laughs. You've had the time of your life. I mean, you're like, it's what you'd be doing anyway, right? Now that you know that all these Adam Sandler movies are out there, you're going to spend 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours watching all these new Adam Sandler movies. You're going to be doing that at home. You might as well do it in line when you're voting, is all I'm saying. We've got options. You can keep yourself entertained. And if it goes 12 hours, the do-over. Adam Sandler and who's the tiny guy? David Spade. I think Adam Sandler he's wearing a bulletproof vest in this, and he's holding a gun. And I guess he's an action hero now. Adam Sandler is an action hero, and you can watch that in line while you're voting if you want to. You can watch anything you want, but there's options. If you keep waiting in line, you can see Blended, one of the 8 movies that Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore did together. I don't know anything about it. It looks like they're on a safari in Africa. Can I say that? Is that offensive? If they're standing in front of golden grass and a tree that looks like it looks like a bonsai tree, but the fact that it's in like a golden field makes me think that it is Africa. There's also The Cobbler. You could watch The Cobbler, which I think is Adam Sandler making pies. I think, right? A cobbler, he just making fruit cobblers all the time. And if you have even more, well, and if you've watched all those movies and you haven't gotten to vote yet, you know what? Then stay. Please stay and vote. That's important. I guess. I don't know why I'm trying to convince people to vote. I'm just saying, waiting online for anything sucks. The fact that a lot of people in this country have to wait online just to vote, that gets a big ol' thumbs down. What a tight segment. This is going great. Let's end on a thumbs up, guys. Big ol' thumbs up to the new cafe that opened down the street from me. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. There's nothing like having a nice cafe within walking distance. I spent way too much money there already. They have iced decaf coffee, which is already, I must be the only person drinking it. There's nobody else in the entire world who would want a decaf iced coffee except for me, and for some reason they've got it. It's always available. They got a nice bagel. They've got some schmear, I guess, which is just, I think, a term for whatever you put on a bagel. Bacon, egg, and cheese. I got an omelet there. They have like a whole dessert cereal section with like smoothies and shakes that I haven't even gotten to, but it's exciting. It's just a good time. Just a good time having a little diner within That's the New York experience, guys. If you live anywhere else in the country and you have a nice place you can eat within walking distance, congratulations, you're living the New York experience. That's the dream. You can walk to stuff. You walk to your bar, you walk to your food place, you walk to your laundromat, you walk to your friend's house. Welcome to Brooklyn. You did it. We did it. New cafe down the street. You get a thumbs up. And that's the end of this week's segment for Thumbs Up. Thumbs down. Guys, this week's topic is the beach. The beach. And let's try to get on topic with the beach. Guys, I grew up near the beach. I know everything about the beach. I love the beach. I'm here to answer your questions about the beach. Nobody sent questions, so I'm just going to go. We're going right into Tim Kayak's top 10 things. Top 10? No. I wrote top 10. That's insane. Who would ever come up with... Guys, if you're listing your top something, it can't be 10. 10 is way too many. 5 is the most you can come up with. After that, it's all honorable mentions. You can't, if someone's like, hey, do you have a nice place for brunch? And you're like, oh, well, actually, I'll give you my top 10. It's like, fuck off. Like, what? Now I have to scroll through 10? Tell me the best ones. Can you rank them in order at least? Or are you just throwing darts against a wall? You're just going to give me more homework now. Here's my top 10. Well, yeah, okay. Here's a mess. You figure it out. Here's my top 10 shells to collect. And it's like, okay, so you just like picking up random shells, you know? Really, the 10th one? That's going to be a good one. You're going to see the 10th shell on your list and be like, oh my God, we've got to have it. That's the 10th favorite shell that I find on this beach and this type of a... Give me a break. Grow up. Top 5 or nothing. Tim Kex. It's time for Tim Keck's Top 5. This week on Tim Keck's Top 5, we're doing my top 5 things to do at the beach. Guys. I love the beach. Number 5, fishing. Y'all ever been fishing at the beach? It's fun, man. It's a good time. It's like fishing anywhere, except you have to cast. You have to throw it out there. You have to whip that thing out there. You got to get it out past the immediate shallows. You got to get some weird bait, and maybe you get I never did this. I always just held a pole the few times I've been fishing at the beach. But there's people who just take like, what do you call it, PVC pipes, whittle them into little stabby things. You can just put a peg into the sand, and then you put your rod in the PVC pipe, and then you just hang out. That was a whole thing. As a kid, it was always a hassle because you're like, I don't want to be in the water body surfing by these. Oh man, why didn't I write down body surfing? Okay, no, it can come up. Sure, it'll be on the list. Maybe I need 10 things. No, shut up, Tim. When you're a kid, you're in the water and you're messing around. I don't want to be by the fishermen. Oh, excuse me, my podcast burp. I don't want to be by the fishermen because they've got hooks, and the hooks are in the water somewhere, and I'm in the water somewhere, and the last thing you want to do is get hooked by a fisherman at the beach because he's going to be like, oh, I've got a nibble. Then he's going to start jerking on it. He's going to reel you in. And now you're in a lot of pain and you're embarrassed because you just got reeled in by an old man fishing at the beach. And so that's a con. But if you're the old man fishing at the beach and you get to reel stuff in, that sounds fun. That's great. That's a great time. There's all kinds of fun fish to catch at the beach. Little tip, and this is a general advice tip, right? If you're at the beach, you see a lot of birds, they're diving in the water. What does that mean? It means bait fish. It means you got little fishes out there that seagulls are interested in eating, which is also, you know what, spoiler alert, a sign that sharks are around. Potentially. It's a potential shark warning sighting thing. If there's bait fish in the water, and you can tell because there's birds diving all over the place, maybe there's sharks also eating those fish. Think about it. Save yourself next time. If you're at a beach and you see a bunch of birds just swimming around in the water, like diving down and eating stuff, I'd just swim somewhere else, just a little bit away. Number 5, fish. Number 4, sandcastle. That sounds great. Build something. Children going to the beach, you're builders. That's what you do when you're a kid. You're either destroyers or builders. Those are the two people in life. Are you creating something or are you destroying the work of others? Both are important. The destroyers would have nothing to destroy without the creators, and the creators would be running out of space if the destroyers didn't come in and destroy some of their creations. Sandcastles at the beach. It's a lost art. You need a bucket. You get a bucket. You fill it with sand. You pat it down. Then you do that fun thing where you flip it over real quick, pull it up, you slam it down real quick, and then you kind of like make sure it's like firm and packed in the bucket, and then you slowly lift it up off the bucket, and you know, hopefully it doesn't crumble apart. With sandcastles, placement is important. Because if you get too close to the waves and the tide starts catching up with you, now all of your hard work down the drain. And you don't want the ocean destroying your sandcastle because that honor should go to one of your friends, an older sibling, or just a guy at the beach who is a destroyer himself. As a builder, it's your job to prepare them to destroy your castle. It's a dream, and then you can play in the castle. You got action figures or something. You got a great time. Sandcastles, number 4 on the list. Guys, this isn't my best list. Number 3. Number 3 on Tim Keck's top 5 things to do at the beach. Dig a hole. Bury somebody. That is a great thing. If you're not building a sandcastle, you're digging a hole. God, man, digging a hole at the beach. Because you're like, man, if I dig low enough, I'm going to hit water. We're so close to water already. This beach is barely above the water. If I dig through this beach, I'm going to get to water. You can find things. You can find like little crabs and stuff. You can find other little things, an octopus maybe. I don't know, but digging a hole, man, something that's great and just exciting about just digging the biggest hole you could. Remember when you were a kid and you're like, man, I could just dig a hole right to China, having no concept of how far it would take. The idea that you're ever like, I could dig a hole to China, and it's like, well, we just drove to the beach 30 minutes from our house, and we're not in China, so somehow I'm going to dig not only deeper than the distance we are from our house, but an additional billion miles through the center of the earth and its hot magma core to get to China. And I know that we're exactly catty-corner to China. I mean, you could end up in the mountains. China is just, there's like 5% of China where people live, and the rest is just mountains and plains. I think. I don't know. I have no idea what China's like. I've never been there. It sounds great, though. Digging a hole's great. And the water comes, the water fills it up. Man, it's just a race against time. Sandcastles, digging a hole. You're battling the elements out there, man. The last thing you want is your hole to cave in, fill in. And if it does, you want somebody in that hole, man. Nothing's more fun than filling that hole up when somebody's in it. Maybe they're sitting down. Maybe by some miracle you got it deep enough that they can stand up. And then you just bury them to their neck. And they're like, oh my God, I'm never going to get out. But then you can just get out. And it's great. It's a real thrill. That's number 3 on Tim Keck's top 5 things to do at the beach. Number 2, drink. Drinking's fun, man. Drinking's good. You can do it anywhere. Nothing beats, and I feel like I've said this before because I tell it to everybody, if you're going to have a drink, nothing beats looking at the water, man. Lake, pool, ocean, river, doesn't matter, but ocean, way up there. It's one of the top 5 bodies of water, I'm sure. I'll come up with that list eventually, just bodies of water. Beach, great. Bring a beer, bring a drink. Go to 7-Eleven, put a little liquor in the bottom of a big gulp, go up to the Slurpee machine, fill it up. Now you got a Slurpee with alcohol in it. And you can drink that at the beach. And that's good. That's fun. It's a good time. Man, there's so many other good things to do at the beach. What am I thinking about? Number 2, drinking. Number 1, surfing. Surfing's fun. You guys should try it. I should put surfing / bodyboarding / boogie boarding / skim boarding. All the boards. All the boards and bodies. That's the fun thing, man. The ocean is a beast. It's an animal, and we've got to conquer it, shape it, ride it. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can stand up if you want. You can lie down if you want. You run and slide across the sand as the waves lick its face in that moment when it's nice and lubed up. Or you can just throw your body in the front of the waves and just like torpedo around for a while. It's great. It's a rush. It's a good time. The beach is great. I feel like I should have done better with this list, guys. I'll be honest. There's so many great things to do at the beach. I didn't scratch the surface. I love the beach. I just got so excited about thumbs up, thumbs down. If I'm being honest with you guys, I was so pumped about that, and we got through like 3 of them. It took such a long time. Next week, I'll do better. Or not. I don't know. If you guys want to watch on YouTube, you totally can. That's our show, guys. Tim Keck's top 5 things to do at the beach. Number 5, fish. Number 4, sandcastle. Number 3, dig a hole / bury someone in it. Number 2, drink. Number 1, surf, bodyboard, skimboard, boogie board. How is boogie boarding not like the most popular? Surfing, it's a fun word. But boogie boarding, boogie. You got a boogie on this board. That's just selling. That's great marketing right there. Whoever came up with the name boogie boarding, my hat's off to you, sir. You get a thumbs up. We'll do that next week. Thumbs up to the guy who came up with boogie boarding. Guys, that is our show. Next week's topic, let's talk about candy, I guess, in preparation for Halloween. Next week's topic, candy. That's our show, guys. If you want, check us out on YouTube. Email the show. Call the show. Let me know. And the king stays king. Bye.